We've all had those moments in life when it seemed like everything was going wrong all at once. You know the feeling. The sirens are wailing, the red lights are flashing, our clothes don't match, everyone is laughing at us, and when we look down we notice that our shoes are untied. And then we look up and notice the asteroid on a collision course with the Earth, ground zero located squarely on our heads. The cherry on top, of course, is our significant other breaking up with us and the dog eating our homework. How we cope with life's little problems is kind of a big deal, and I could fill this video with the hundreds of little cliched sayings about coping skills. Instead, I want to focus on a whole new set of coping skills you're going to have to develop. Virtual coping skills. In a digital environment such as ours, you might feel as if all your support systems for dealing with things gone wrong have all melted away. In truth, you've actually got more support ready at hand than you've ever had. Let's spend a few moments talking about the problems you might have and how you can cope with them without having a meltdown. The first thing that might trigger your alarms will be a terrible sense of being completely lost in your new virtual environment. You'll be faced with a whole new way of attending school, a bunch of new websites and systems of communication, and added to all of that will be the removal of someone standing over you, making you do your work and helping you when that work got tough. You might feel overwhelmed and be tempted to just throw up your hands and shut down. Of course, now that you know or suspect that the beginning might be a little rough, you can take steps to make it smoother. Write down the websites you'll need and your passwords for them on a note card or piece of paper. Somehow, seeing those things written down on one tiny note card can shrink your feelings of panic right along with it. With any problem, you'll find that your teachers are almost always available, just an email or instant message away. Sharing your problems with one or all of them is a quick way to get 5 or 6 different ways to deal with any given situation. In the virtual world, anyone and any solution is only a few seconds away. I might as well tell you now, you're going to have to deal with the eye goblins. They live in every computer and printer, they travel up and down the information superhighway, feeding on homework assignments and crashing software. I wish there was a miraculous way of rooting them out, but there isn't. So at some point, you're going to be a victim of the eye goblins. Maybe it is 1 hour until the deadline and your term paper disappears in electronic smoke. Maybe you need to get into a live classroom session and for some reason you can't log on. Again, knowing that the eye goblins are out there can do a lot to stave away the panic. And again, your teachers are your first line of defense. They can be a first step on figuring out any technical issues you might have. At the very least, they can work with you to find the answers you need. Also, it's good for you to know that a lot of programs automatically save backups of your work, but just in case, you should get in the habit of backing up your assignments as you work to 2 different locations, typically a hard drive and a flash drive. Precautions like that can foil the eye goblins every time, and knowing you have these backups in place can be one of the best coping skills you have in the virtual world. The eye goblins are not alone when it comes to virtual distractions. In fact, the web is, well, a spider web of potential distractions, all of them poised to grab you and keep you from doing your math homework. So how can you cope with something that seems bound and determined to lure you away from the work you need to do with promises of YouTube videos of babies dancing and Facebook drama that's better than anything on a reality TV show? It starts with an active step on your part. You must avoid the weapons of mass distraction. You know what they are: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and any one of the dozens of social media time sinkholes that will be invented and become huge in the hours after you watch this little tutorial. Seriously, the biggest cause of panic and worry for a virtual student is a feeling of time slipping away from you, of deadlines crashing in, and the easiest way to avoid that feeling entirely is to avoid the weapons of mass distraction like the plague during school hours. There are as many virtual distractions, worries, and panic-inducing technical glitches as you can imagine, but just as many ways to cope.